Today's story deals with Venezuela. After John Bolton's firing, Venezuelan government officials have expressed their content with the decision. For a rundown of the situation in Venezuela, here's political expert Dr. Frank Mora.
Well, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, who do these economic studies of countries around the world, consider Venezuela among the poorest in terms of inflation, poverty rates, and the rapid deterioration of social and economic conditions. There is truly a humanitarian crisis in the country. The scarcities that you see across the line of the most basic things that you would want is among the worst in the world, right? It is difficult to find even food and water, especially when you have blackouts that occur periodically. You know, in situations where you have this level of humanitarian crisis, a collapse of the economy, what that happens is usually you see the impoverishing of the whole population. So in some ways there is less disparity, but there are more people who are living in poverty, right? The middle class, they've lost jobs. Their standard of living has collapsed as a result of the collapse of the economy, inflation rate. So today a bolivar is worth a certain amount and tomorrow it's worth less. Because the currency doesn't have any value. The prices of things are very high, and so people will resort to all kinds of informal or illicit activities just to make a living, just to survive. So the country, or a lot of people in the country, are in sort of survival mode on a day-to-day basis, and that has resulted in the collapse of the middle class. Many of them, by the way, have left the country, have left to the United States or to Colombia, so there are now about 4 million Venezuelans living outside of the country, and that has happened in the last 5 years. Many of those people are from the former middle class of Venezuela.
Thanks for the rundown, Frank. Some truly transformational stuff happening down in Venezuela. For a more personal viewpoints, here are some thoughts from some of our local Venezuelan citizens.
The current crisis in Venezuela is extremely horrible. The humanitarian crisis is going from bad to worse. People are eating actually just trash from the streets, looking for any type of food due to the fact that the government stopped providing any type of food resources. To reach an actual solution would be bringing in humanitarian resources, obviously international intervention, bringing in food for the people. Military intervention could help, but there's obviously positives and negatives to that due to the fact that a lot of people will die if there was to be a military intervention, unless it's really clean, really swift, where it focuses only on the corrupt in Venezuela, like the government basically.